you read World War Z, right?
Yeah.
That's great.
And then, because I almost 90% will not watch the movie till I finish the book.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I like the movie.
I thought the movie was great, but it was only a chapter of the book.
Exactly.
Taking little snippets of everything else. Yeah, I read it. I read other things, but there are times I go on these.
Yeah, like I'm starting to pick the State Park Ranger from Wyoming.
Oh,
Just a great series.
yeah. Well, I don't. The truth is, I don't watch much TV. I watch soccer games.
Yeah.
I drive people crazy. I don't know anything's going on. All the things I told you, Last of Us, I saw that on an airplane.
Of course.
Yeah. And it was a long flight. I just kept watching them.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up 2 flights. I ended up seeing the whole series. Okay, where does this go in? Right here. And we still can't hear ourselves, right?
No.
Not for the
As the sun blazes down on the Nino Cantu Athletic Complex, the West Seattle Rhodies know that this really is their last chance. On Sunday, the Rhodies thought their season had come to an end after a disappointing draw at home against Portland. However, just a couple hours later, the final whistle blew of a thrilling 3-3 draw between the other two teams competing for the USLW Northwest title, Snohomish and Salmon Bay. With that draw, the Rhodies are still in the title race, but they must win their last two games. And the first of those two games starts now against Olympia, as we thank you for being with us on Sports Engine Play. Oscar Lopez, joined by former Seattle Sounder Tony Crudo. So, Tony, as an experienced coach, which we know that you are, how would you prepare this team for this must-win game after only winning one game in their last four?
Well, players are not hard to figure out. There's not a lot of tricks. Most coaches, when they screw up, it's because they threaten players and they get the players uncomfortable. All you have to do to a good player is explain what the consequences of a performance are. These players want to keep playing. Nobody wants to stop playing. And if you tell them you get to play and you get to travel in an airplane, possibly to the national tournament, if you win games. So you need to do what needs to be done. The key is to show them what they need to do without having them be tensed up or afraid. I think Lindsay's a very good coach. I don't think she's going to have any problem working with the players to make them understand and help them understand that they're helping themselves. Players at this level understand the consequences. So you just tell them the consequences and then help them.
Well, 2 wins is not the only thing that West Seattle need to top the USLW Northwest. They're going to need some help from elsewhere, and that game being Snohomish against Salmon Bay. Yes, they just played on Sunday. They play again at Salmon Bay if that ends in a draw and the West Seattle Rhodies win their 2 games, they win the league. If one of those teams wins, if Snohomish win that game, it's over, it's done with, they are champions. If Salmon Bay win that game, they could be champions, but that is also if they win their other game, which is midweek against Tacoma. So West Seattle will need some luck and a good performance tonight against an Olympia team that comes in 4th place, but it's a pretty far 4th place. 10 points on the season, 12 off the West Seattle Rhodies in 3rd, 3 wins, 6 losses, and 1 draw on the season. A far cry from the Olympia team we saw last year. However, they did lose a lot of players, and you see that in their team this year. A lot of really, really young players starting for Olympia, a lot of 07s, 08s, plenty of people that haven't even started university yet. So a rebuild year.
Yeah. Well, that's 2 things that happen. And players learn, they get better. They start off with a young team. It's possible that they've been improving because they're kind of getting into the grind of what it's like to be a professional player, because that's what they are now, and they have to take that seriously. So I expect them possibly to be better than they were earlier in the season, because young players do that. They learn. Every game is an experience that they hopefully have figured something out and go into the next game and improve it. So some of the mistakes they made as young players against girls who've been playing college shouldn't happen. This should be a pretty tight game. I don't, unless the weather comes into it, I don't think it's going to be a rout. I think it's going to be close.
It is certainly hot out on that turf field. But it's hot for both teams.
That's true.
So that is the silver lining. Olympia have found some half-decent form as of late. Their last 4 games, they've won 2. Their most recent game was a 1-0 loss to Bigfoot. And then the other loss coming in those last 4 games, a 3-1 defeat at Salmon Bay.
Okay, they sound like a pretty good team.
Yeah. I mean, they certainly will have winning fresh on their mind after last season. Granted, it's not they aren't the same players. It's a very young team. But if you're Olympia, you do not want that season to be a one-off.
No.
People don't want to know you as the team that had Ginny Lackey. They want to they want to be known as a team that can compete in this division alongside your West Seattles, your Salmon Bays, your Snohomishes, etc.
Yeah. Well, players, it sounds funny to say, players are actually kind of, there's a rare player who's not motivated by success. I know most players, they understand that rewards come to players who play well, and they also come to teams that win. And you want to be a player playing well on a team that wins. Nobody likes being on a team that's not winning. And they'll do everything they can, especially if they're young in their careers, that they should be learning this. It's not high school soccer, because some of these girls just are still in high school, or they just graduated. It's not high school soccer anymore. Results count, and people, kind of count on you winning.
And that's kind of the point. This is a pre-professional league, so it is a lot about preparing these girls for what is to come. And we will Well, it's almost an entirely different team from the one that lost 1-0 to Bigfoot. 9 changes made by head coach Seth Spidall for the Olympia side. Molly McCabe is the goalkeeper. Mikkel, Baldock, Luebe Davidson, and De Boer anchor the back line. The midfield creativity is provided by Victoria Peters, Nolan Cromie, and Lila Pruner. Olivia Collins and Eliana Smith are the only two to stay in the starting 11 after the Bigfoot loss. They start in the front three alongside Grace Johnson. And on the flip side, Lindsay Patterson makes just 2 changes from the team that drew with Portland on Sunday. Sophia Hills starts her second game in a row in goal. Blake Mattern and Klukstall retain their spot in the back line. The only change is Harper Kernet replacing Claire Largent. Jordan Zaharis will look to dominate the midfield battle. She plays next to Angela Saldana and Mariah Biagai. And the front three is Olivia Shee, Jaden Holdenreed, and Kuni Hirai. So before we get going, I would just like to issue a preemptive apology. Not that it is my fault, but Olympia have decided to go with iridescent numbers on their kits with a light blue top. And on a sunny day like this, that makes it almost impossible to read those numbers from up here in the broadcast booth. I will try my absolute best, but if you are a parent listening and I get the name of a player wrong, I am sorry. You are free to ask your club to change the kits.
And they will.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I am not the first nor the last person to have this issue. We've got plenty of announcers around this league who will have seen those kits and probably thought the exact same thing. It's not just the numbers. It's the whole, like the badge, the sponsor, the names, everything is iridescent. So it, from afar, it just looks like a light blue kit with some glitter on it.
Yes.
Which I'm not so sure about. It will be the West Seattle Rhodies in the all-pink, kicking from right to left, your right to your left, the viewer. The FC Olympia are in the blue, going left to right, and it will be West Seattle prepared to get us underway in their final home game of the season. A must-win for the Rhodies if they look to cling on to any hope of topping the Northwest and making the national tournament. And it is Kuni Hirai to get us going.
Oh, my
Quick
goodness.
little exchange with Jaden Holdenreed, who's now just ahead of the Olympia back line. She dishes it out left for West Seattle. Held up for a moment. Blocked, but not cleared by Olympia. Here's Biagai. She scored a hat trick in Rhodey's second to most recent home game, a 4-0 win over Bigfoot, as Sophie Blake's pass down the line is intercepted and touched away for a West Seattle throw.
Throwing everybody forward right away. I think they're trying to prove a point.
Blake down into Holdenreed. She leaves it for Hirai, who wants it on her left foot. Not quite what she was hoping for, but she'll be happy to get a shooting opportunity in under a minute.
That was a very interesting kickoff. That's old school.
Yeah, it was,
the new school is just to kick it in the corner and start the game down there. They actually did wall passes up to the center of the field. Reminds me of when I was a kid. That's what we were supposed to do.
Yeah. And Olympia made it kind of easy.
They did.
To walk right through the midfield.
I think they expected them to whack it into the corner like everybody's been doing around the world. Now, I know Seth, the coach of the other team.
Yeah.
Yeah, Washington Premier coach forever, coach at PLU as well. So I have a pretty good idea what his style is going to be. In the past, it has been kind of a long diagonal game, kind of what we did last year. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he was around when Lindsay was around, but I'm sure they know each other.
It's a good first touch by Hirai, tracking inside. However, the pass is behind Zaharis. Picked up by Olympia in midfield now with their right-sided center back. Across to the other center back, who looks to be Olivia Collins. But, again, that's just a maybe.
You know, if it wasn't for the sun, you could actually see their numbers.
Yeah, you know what?
It's
could
reflecting.
be Smith at center back. Throw and taken down the line by Olympia. This one will be shielded out for a West Seattle goal kick.
Interesting game so far. There doesn't seem to be any regimentation, any attack. They're just kind of feeling this game out. Oh,
Klugstall over the top towards Hirai. It actually hit off of the attacker's back. That's a heavy first touch in midfield, swept up by Zaharis, who tried to feed it through. I think she wanted Hirai, who might have been in an offside position, but in the end it nearly fell to Olivia Shi, as Olympia were a little too lax in clearing that ball. They do end up getting it away, and will send it into their center forward, who's got two in pink around her. Managed to shield the ball away from one, tried to feed it down the left. That was well intercepted by Blake, who has cemented her spot as the right-sided fullback for Lindsay Patterson's side. Here's Holdenreed. She's playing in more of a midfield role for this one, interchanging with Hirai. Biagai couldn't connect, however, with Jaden Holdenreed, and that goes out for an Olympia throw.
Well, it's a good first couple minutes. Both teams are getting a chance to do what they want to do and see who works out.
Brought down by Olympia on the near side. Good step by Biagai to make a nuisance of herself. She finds Hirai. Now she cutting in. Biagai down the line. Tries to find the angle for the cross, but is sufficiently muscled off the ball by a very large Olympia center back.
She's a big girl. She did a good job there.
Yeah.
She just kind of laid into our player, Biagai.
Yeah,
it just didn't let her get to the ball.
It never felt like Biagai had a chance there.
No, she just kind of put her body on her and ran her out.
McCabe into the sun. Header won by Olympia, and a push in the back by Maisie Klugstall will give FC Olympia the first free kick of the evening, 4 minutes in.
Well, it looks to me like both teams are trying to assert their midfield play, and then can they transition into an attacking position? It's still open right now. I can't tell you who's going to do it. The Rhodies look good, though. They have a pretty strong midfield.
Looks different from how it did against Portland on Sunday. A lot more energy in this side. As Guy looks to swing it in the direction of Saldana, won by the left-sided fullback of Olympia.
Well, if you were Coach Patterson, what would you have told the players?
I mean, I think a lot of these players are a little older. As far as USLW standards go, it's quite a young league. It is a pre-professional league, but some of these players are a bit older, especially Guy is in her late 20s at this point. That's a good turn by Zaharis, looking to pick out Saldana. It might go all the way through, and did, but the flag is up. I probably would have said, I would have tried going the pragmatic route.
Yeah.
Basically saying, look, guys, Portland didn't go the way we wanted it to. Now destiny is not in our hands, but we can still make it. We can still win these last 2 games. We've got our last home game of the season coming up. Let's put on a show for these guys and keep ourselves in the running.
Yeah.
At least make the last game mean something.
It certainly looks as if when we're getting the ball, we're looking to beat their defense. We might have a sense of their speed back there and our speed up front because we've put a lot of through balls through, and they've all looked really dangerous. We just have to make sure we don't just start whacking it from the back. That's a...
Cleared away by McCabe under pressure from Hirai. Rhodies do often lean on their physical attributes, their speed and their strength when it comes to winning games.
Well, it's not a bad idea. I mean, you have to be a good athlete to be an athlete. And so I think we every game I've seen, we've been the more athletic team. Look at that, right behind
That is a
again.
lovely ball across. Olivia Sheehan tries to chip McCabe. Got too much on it.
See, it's like 3 times now that we've put through balls through, and we look like we're going to get it. I mean, one of them hit our own player's back as she was running onto goal. If it had missed her, it was going to drop it to her feet, and she was off.
The space is very clearly behind the Olympia back line. I think you might be onto something when you talk about we have a read on their pace.
Yeah.
It seems like we are backing ourselves.
As long as we don't serve the ball from our defense, because that's too long of a flight. But if we can get the ball in the midfield, we can put through balls all day long, it feels like. Let's see what they do.
For now, it's just get it out of our half, and McCabe does that by about a yard, but it's won by West Seattle. Zaharis losing out in midfield, but Holden Reed has won it right back. She's got runners ahead of her, Jaden Holden Reed, a little bit of space to operate.
Yeah. Well, the space is contracting now, so we can't do that thing, but we can get to
touch by Guy, and she'll go for goal, smacking off the shoulder of that right-sided center back. Again, apologies for my lack of vision on some of these names. I'm sure you can see it on the broadcast. They've gone for iridescent font, Olympia. Clearly, whoever designs the jerseys has an ex who is a broadcaster. It'll be a free kick for West Seattle in a promising position.
It's good. It's a good spot. It's probably at the end of her distance. You know what I mean? It's going to drop right in that goal area if she gets under it at all. I can't see this going that far.
Chipped in towards the back post. Great ball for Hirai, who got contact with her head.
Yeah.
Couldn't direct it goalward, but another good chance for the Rhodies.
We've had some good chance. I mean, we haven't taken any shots, but we've been really scary. I'd be a bit worried right now if I was the coach of Olympia. I'd be looking at it going, okay, there's a problem right now.
Seth might be sweating, and it may not just be the heat. Although he has elected to go, you won't be able to see it. He's gone with a long sleeve shirt. Maybe he's got sensitive skin.
Maybe, yeah, he's got sensitive skin. He coaches a lot of teams. He doesn't want to get burned for this next day.
Yeah, last day of the sun though.
Yeah, it's going to be nice tomorrow.
Sure, the Rhodies supporters, this you can see on the broadcast, are enjoying total shade. So, with the sun out of their faces, it's probably ideal spectator weather out there. As Mattern is in a foot race that she will win. Touches it back to Kernet. She's also under pressure, Harper Kernan. That pressure is enough to force her to touch it out for a throw-in. It was the center forward, Smith, applying the pressure.
Did you say we have a new goalkeeper?
She started the last game,
Okay.
Hills, and she's been in and out of the team.
Okay, because she looked a little like she should have really passed that ball back, but maybe she doesn't know her, hasn't worked with her before, and didn't feel comfortable.
West Seattle that time win a throw-in. So Mattern and Klukstall have been the center backs for a lot of West Seattle's games. However, for this one, they've decided to go with Mattern at left back, and Kernet plays next to Klukstall.
Okay. Was it injury or just this coach's decision?
Well, I imagine the coach's decision to shift Mattern to left back and put in another center back rather than just replace the left back with another left back.
Okay.
Blake into Klukstall. Low threaded pass into Hurai, who brings it down with a couple on her back, maintains possession. Here's Mattern. She under pressure. That pressure forced a bit of a wobbly first touch. Second one was touched off of her for a West Seattle throw. 10 minutes in, West Seattle will definitely be the happier of the two sides. There certainly are avenues of attack.
Yeah, it looks like we've got the pace if we want. I think we've decided to fight out the midfield a little bit to see who's going to own the midfield. And I said, we can't quite string stuff together, especially when we get in the final third here. It looks like it's pretty crowded back there. It's interesting that they have almost an entire new team. You said they changed 9 of their players.
9 players, yeah. They're the only 2 retaining their spot in the squad are the center forward and the left winger. Here's a good chance, though, for Olympia. Across to their left winger, Collins. She's up against Blake. Collins with a shoulder drop gets down the line. Well covered by Klukstall, but it's sent back in by Olympia. Straight at the goalkeeper, Hills.
That could have been dangerous. She should have done a little better with that, actually. It looked like she was just happy to have a shot.
Holden Reed couldn't force her way through. Pressure comes from Hurai. Not the best pass back to McCabe. It was bouncing, and the subsequent clearance is evidence of that. It falls to Be a Guy. No one really showing for help. Be a Guy is able to get the cross in, but it's not a very dangerous one.
Olympia is very organized. I could see why it was 1-0 last time they played. I think we have a little more power than they do, but they get organized in the back. Mm-hmm. If we don't take advantage of the space behind them, it could be another 1-0 game.
Well, West Seattle have had a few of those, and by a few I mean a couple. Their opening game of the season, a 1-0 win against the Tacoma Galaxy, and then the reverse fixture against Olympia away was also 1-0 in favor of the Rhodies.
Okay. Well, this feels like a lot closer game than some of the ones we've seen. And the reason is just because the other team I don't see as many weaknesses, except for the speed issue. And again, if we can get the ball into the midfield, yeah, I don't really like seeing midfielders put through balls through. I mean, defenders put through balls through. Too far.
That pass attempted to find Collins. I think that Olympia player thought Collins would have heels on the touchline. She did, in fact, cut in.
Yeah. We haven't seen many pure wingers in the games we've been watching, though.
No. There was quite a pacey forward in the Portland game.
Okay.
Who was quite dangerous for them. Hurai can play winger, but she really is just someone who wants to get forward no matter where she is.
Yeah.
Not quite a hug the touchline, take on the fullback type of winger.
Yeah. I haven't seen many in the games that I've been able to watch.
Well, there's your long ball from the defender, Klukstall. It takes a bounce before reaching Be a Guy. Not her best first touch. Olympia can look to get away. It's a strong step by Harper Kernet out of center back. Picked back up by the Rhodies and Holden Reed. Harper Kernet of CSU Northridge, an Auburn, Washington native. Former Pac Northwest ECNL player. Here's Holden Reed.
Split.
Hurai's making the run. Lovely ball by Holden Reed. Hurai denied. Can West Seattle pick up the pieces? It's not cleared all the way, but that's not the best pass in the world from Be a Guy, and it allowed Olympia to get through. Best chance of the game for West Seattle.
Fantastic run. I mean, you could see it from up in the stands. They were on the same page, and it was perfect. Goalkeeper made a great save, by the way.
Really well done by McCabe to burst off of her line and close down Hurai's space as Saldana gets her cross wrong.
I thought that was in, actually. It looked like she got it with her foot or right hand. I couldn't tell which one she got it with. But it was good. It was a great save. I mean, that really should have been the first goal. I mean, that was a great effort. I love those kind of runs, by the way. Those are really good.
Oh, yeah, right across the back line.
Yeah.
Because you can really build up your speed, and then you can turn. And Holden Reed knew exactly what was going on the whole time.
Yeah.
She knew exactly what she was going to do from when she got the ball. She had the space, and it was a perfectly weighted pass. And in the end, McCabe was equal to it.
Yeah. Well, there's that.
That's a dangerous one. Swept up by Klukstall.
See, I like it when we get into this area here. There's so many things you can start doing. It allows people to make that wasn't.
That wasn't.
That didn't work.
That didn't work.
But the idea was good. Oh, here's that.
This is a good play from Olympia. They're getting behind the West Seattle midfield.
Yes, they are.
Down the right-hand side, not a half bad pass threaded through. There is the physicality of Maisie Klukstall giving that center forward
Great ball.
no chance. But it's something we've seen. So no Ali Monroe in the team. She has recently for West Seattle just been sitting in front of the back four and providing that cover. Now the deepest midfielder is Zaharis, but she's not quite a 6 by trade.
Yeah.
She wants to be a little higher, a little more engaged in the midfield battle, not necessarily sitting and waiting for it to come to her, as Uri will go for goal, and maybe the less said about that one, the better.
Well, the play we just saw Olympia do was identical to what we had just done. The outside midfielder had the ball, came inside, a gap open, she slotted it through, and the crossing run by the forward.
There's space for both teams. The only difference is the space for West Seattle is behind the back line. The space for Olympia is ahead of the back line.
Yes.
And we're seeing it here. Here's Collins up against Blake. She's got some space, touches it past Blake, has the pace to get away from her. Klukstall in support. Collins gets it across. First to it is in blue, but that was a tough angle. Kernet was in the right place to make that difficult.
She had a lot of choices there. I mean, it's never bad for a forward to shoot. We just encourage them to shoot. However, there was a player right behind her. If she would have flicked it to her, that player could have shot because it was a 3-on-3. That was a good combination play.
Not a bad choice, not the best choice.
Yes. Well, you want forwards to shoot. No coach is going to yell at a player.
No.
But if I was the midfield, I would say, by the way, I was open. If you would have laid it back, I could have struck it.
It's very possible the midfielder said that in a much less polite way.
They're nice kids.
No, it's not
nice.
that they don't like each other, but it's curt out there. It's to the point. It has to be. You don't have time to articulate.
Oh, yeah. I can promise you if it was a men's game, there would be some other words shown in there. But one thing I've noticed coaching women's soccer, they're a little more supportive of each other, especially when there's a mistake, which is good. It's much better chemistry when you get along and support each other. You're used to playing with guys. See, that's your thing.
Yeah,
Oscar.
but I've called women's soccer for the last 5 years, so I've been around it for quite a while.
So how often do you see them yell at each other for something like that?
It takes a lot. Ooh. It's happened, but it takes a lot. That's a good move by Holden Reed, and she's got Blake making that overlapping run down the right. She loves to do that. Sophie Blake looking to chip one in, and it's straight at McCabe.
Well, sun was in the goalkeeper's eyes. Not a bad idea for cross from there, but it was to the keeper. But it was a good run. It's very hard on a 70 or 90-degree day. She went close to 45 yards at a full sprint.
Yeah, I mean, we know she's got it.
Yeah.
She certainly has the engine.
Yeah, she goes all day.
Step by Mattern. Doesn't win it, though. Hoisted forward by Pruner. Cross for the right winger, the pseudo-striker at that moment, Eliana Smith.
Ooh.
Kernet down the left. Hurai's got some space to work with. A player went down. Referee said get up. Kuni Hurai cutting inside, down to the byline, goes for goal, and finds the bottom corner beautifully. That's what she can do.
Wow.
Kuni Hurai with her 9th goal on the season, and West Seattle have the lead.
Destroyed the outside back. Went at him, did a couple step overs, and shot. Look at this.
Well, we'll see it here in just a moment, but that's what Kuni Hurai is all about.
Watch this scissors. Boom, boom, boom. There.
Oh, yeah. Sent her all the way back to Olympia.
All the way back. Oh, my gosh. She had her on her heels. She didn't even chase her. She just kind of looked and said, well, that's unlucky. And, the truth is the last defender, sweeper, should be a little closer to there. I don't think you expect your outside back to get beat that badly because you can't respond to that. I mean,
And I think what some people don't really understand if they don't play, they see a defender get burned like that, and they think, well, what is the defender doing? When the attacker is good and picks up a head of steam, they have the advantage.
Constantly.
They clearly have the advantage, because if they're sprinting down and they're a good player, they don't have to do what Hirai did. I mean, what Hirai did was exceptional in that instance, but you can sometimes just drop the shoulder and then go the other direction, and that's good enough.
Well,
But
you know where you're going to go. You can see where you're going to go, and the defender can't see anything.
Right.
I mean, it's a common principle. You defend in numbers. One-on-one, you're done. As a defender, you'll never win. I mean, yes, I know they show videos of great defenders stopping great forwards, but you don't want to be in that situation very often.
no.
And unfortunately for their outside back, she just got schooled. It was great attacking play.
Yeah. Hirai had a bit of a dip in form mid-season, but she's scored in her last 2 games now. As West Seattle get a little bit unlucky, she applied good pressure, but bounce just didn't quite go her way.
Well, there have been a few lucky things that have happened for Olympia. Balls bouncing off people and going to their player just standing. Mm-hmm. I think we're just a pretty darn strong team. And they're a young side. It's very warm out there. 1-0 is a tough place to be at this point. And we look like we're feeling pretty good.
Holden Reed is finding a lot of space in midfield.
She sure is.
That's a good try down the left-hand side from Holden Reed. Just couldn't quite get to She. Defended by Olympia's right-sided fullback, DeBoer. Picked back up by the junction. Again, they're looking for She down the left. This one's a little longer, and that allows the defender, Luebe Davidson, to get across.
So we're going down our left side a lot. Do you think it's because we're strong there or they're weak there? What's your gut feeling?
Well, Hirai is playing through the middle, but she's kind of given free rein to move where she likes. Mm-hmm. She's starting down the left.
Okay.
Or She as in Olivia She, not She as in SHE.
Right.
But I have a feeling they've done their research.
Yeah. Because their outside left back looks a little slow.
There's that run again from Blake. This time she's in the box. The touch was a bit heavy, but she's maintained possession, turning this way and that, and showed a bit too much to the left winger, Collins, who'd come back to defend. And in the end, Collins was dragged down by Blake.
I like the way she drug her down. I mean, if you're going to run 50 yards into the other team's penalty area, you don't want to run back. So you take somebody out in that area, gives you time to get back. It's much easier to do it that way. That was a smart defensive play.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, it wasn't dirty.
No. And you're not going to get booked for that because it's in the opponent's defensive 18-yard box.
Yeah, you don't want that player to clear it out to where you just ran from because you got to get back there. It's a long way.
And then your center backs are going to be looking at you like, where are you?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I got to attack as well.
Yes. And they are. They're expected to attack. But at the same time, defenders are like, why are you attacking? You're a defender. Especially if it doesn't work out. If it works out, they're like, oh, we love you. But when it doesn't work out, they're like, what are you doing?
Throw-in's taken by DeBoer. Finds its way across into the possession of Olivia She.
There they go.
Pings one into Hirai. That is an exquisite first touch with her chest.
Really good.
Kuni Hirai turning away from pressure. Sees the run of She. Tries to bend one into her path, but just underhit it. It was behind her.
Yeah. Those are tough balls because we're looking at it going, well, you just kicked it out of bounds. But if she'd laid it on the ground and that outside back had come through, that outside back would have beaten 4 players instantly and would have been attacking our goal. So it's not necessarily a bad idea to put a ball like that. I mean, when I was looking at it, I thought, oh, please don't put this on the ground. That outside back, if she gets it, she's going to be ripping the other direction. It's a bad idea. Mm-hmm. It's good. Good
well, the referee's blown here for what I imagine is a much-needed hydration break.
Yeah.
But unlike the World Cup, I don't think we're going to go to ads. So with if you're Seth, if you're the head coach of Olympia, what do you say here?
I would tell my center backs, they're obviously going wide. All the damage is coming from there. I'd say you've got to get out and support them. We can't leave them on an island. If you have an exceptional outside back, you can. If you're a good coach, you can go, I'm leaving you out there. But if you get beat that badly, and she's been beat a couple times out there, if you haven't got somebody to replace them, then you have to tell your team, we have to support her, which means start sliding over when they get to the middle. If they look in that direction, go in that direction. And because we haven't really go down to the middle except once. Most everything seems to be happening from outside to in.
Again, a lot of these Olympia players, I'm calling their names, are guesswork. I know who is starting, and I have a rough idea of where they are on the pitch. But those iridescent numbers do make it hard. I think, considering DeBoer is playing over on this left-hand side, I think the right back is Lillian Mickle.
Okay.
Lillian Mickle of Western Oregon University.
Okay.
So, yeah, I agree with you. I think you have to provide a little bit of support. And then you also maybe take it a step further and say, yeah, when those center backs go across midfield, you know what to do.
You have to be aware. I mean, as a coach, I swear I do this. I told you, we've talked about this before. I look at right away what's going on in the defense to see what their lineup is. Is it flat? Is it whatever? And then you look for weak players. A decent coach actually looks to go, who can we exploit? Who's their slowest player? Who's their weakest player? I know it sounds cruel, but you're not picking on people. You're just going, this is a weakness. When they adjust to this, then we do the next thing.
Yeah.
You know, we make them double cover our left side. That means the center's going to be open. So once you look there and the sweeper slides over or the center back slides over, then you play it into the middle. Yeah. Then it's one-on-one in the center. Again, I'm not picking on anybody. I'm just saying you should exploit the fact that we can outrun that player.
Collins into Cromie in midfield. Olympia maintained possession. It's wide for Mickle. Pruner.
Okay, now here we are.
Couldn't quite pick out Johnson. She elects to play things safe, finds Zaharis in midfield. She's got space to progress to Jordan Zaharis. She's found a good ball out wide for Blake, who is in all kinds of room, chipping one towards the back post, just over the head of Holden Reed. Falls to She, who couldn't quite get her feet right.
Good try, though. Good try. You know, that really works really well, that going from side to side and then serving balls in. Not crosses, but service, if you know what I mean. A cross, I always think, is you get down the line, you cross across the goal. But a serve is when you're outside the penalty area and you're just laying balls in there for people to kind of come in on the goalkeeper. We've done that a couple times. It's good. We've scored some good goals that way.
Yeah. Pretty much all of it is, when we attack more direct, we're going down the left. If we're building up, we want to end up down the right because Blake will push forward. Here's Saldana getting away from DeBoer. Saldana fires one low into Hirai. She brings it down. Into Blake. Great first touch.
Whoa.
Blake, I think, was going for a shot there. Just got her foot around it a little too much.
It's a tough one because it was a really good serve. I mean, I agree with you. I think the reason the players didn't run because they thought she was shooting. But if they had run to follow up on it, they could have put it in. It was a great ball in the end. But I agree with you. I think she was shooting. But, look at all the work she went to get it.
Olympia are not taking their goal kicks short.
No.
McCabe Long, first header won by the side in blue. Second one picked up by West Seattle. It must be so challenging winning a second ball when you've got the likes of Jordan Zaharis kind of roaming in that zone. She really is just a destroyer in there.
Well, she does a lot of things. I mean, they obviously, this player in the center, I can't see her number, the blonde in the middle, coming to the ball right now. She's trying to distribute.
Mariah guy.
Okay,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She is your distributing player. Zaharis just wins a lot of balls, but she's also kind of dangerous going forward, though I don't think I've seen her score.
Ooh, that's a bit of a tough one back for McCabe. Holden Reed is providing the pressure, but McCabe does have enough time to clear it out.
What would you say Zaharis' role is? Because obviously the smaller blonde player is a distributing player.
Well, in this game, it's a little different. So she's playing a bit deeper than she normally does.
Okay.
She's dropped back as a six, a center defensive midfielder, whatever you want to call it. She's providing that cover ahead of the back line. And sometimes, actually, when we're in possession, she'll drop all the way into the back line so she can get on the ball.
Yeah.
But she's won the ball there, so that time she stepped up a little bit. But she's really A of all, she wins the ball, and B of all, she progresses. Ball forward. What a delivery by Holden Reed. And it kind of hit she rather than she heading the ball.
I think she was looking directly into the sun.
Yeah,
and if you look where the lines...
Yeah, you can see the shadow. That really is right into the sun, but that ball had some shape on it from Holden Reed.
It was wonderful. I mean, probably if the sun hadn't been there, she would have boinked it in because she was running onto it. It actually hit her in the forehead.
Yeah.
But I don't think she was striking the ball, like you said. I think the ball struck her.
Yeah. But yeah, Zaharis is having to do maybe even a little more in this game than she has in previous games when, let's say, there's a Ali Monroe sitting and doing that defensive cover.
Yeah.
So Zaharis can more focus on just getting stuck into that midfield battle, winning the ball, and progressing things forward. Now she has that role, but also she drops deep to get on the ball.
Yeah.
So it's clear that she has just become more and more important to Lindsay Patterson's side as the year has gone on.
Yeah, well, you want to build a strong spine, and you want your strongest players on the ball as much as possible. We're real lucky. We have a lot of good players in all positions. I mean, there's some really good play.
None less than Cooney Hurai and Jaden Holden Reed, who tried to link up there. Hurai, of course, Rhodey's top goal scorer, now with 9. It's her lone goal that's the difference after half an hour. Jaden Holden Reed has also had herself an excellent season and did so at the college level in the fall when she was part of that University of Washington side that made it to the Elite Eight.
Wow, that's good. Did she play in the same position on the University of Washington team?
I think she played a little farther forward.
Okay.
So I think she's don't quote me on that, but I think she's she has been gradually dropping deeper and deeper. Yeah. I think it's become clear that that's what she wants to do. She wants to drop and get on the ball. She's not the sort of last touch striker, the one who just puts it away.
Yeah.
And in fact, she's kind of starting as a midfielder in this game. She really is playing as like a 10.
Uh-huh.
With Zaharis as the 6 and Biagai is kind of that roaming 8. Here is Mariah Biagai. Wide for Olivia Shee.
See how the sweeper came over and everybody kind of collapsed?
Not quite enough to get it away from Shee, whose shot forced the diving save out of McCabe, but it was not a very challenging one down to her right.
Well, they'd seen that play before. As soon as she got it and started running, all of a sudden the midfielders dropped back and the center back started sliding over. She still could have got away with it because I don't think she was far enough over. She's a dangerous player we've got.
We do seem to have a lot of those. However, they weren't clicking so much as of recently. Feels like they've somewhat come back into their groove in this match, but they'll want another goal. As Biagai is able to muscle her way past the Olympia midfielder. Now Zaharis. She's been trying to get onto the ball as much as possible.
It's hard to do it back there because the passing, if you're a player who's used to going forward, being in that 6 and going backwards all the time has a pointless feel to it. You know what I mean? It's like all I'm doing is moving the ball from A to B. I'm not really doing anything interesting. And players like that usually like to kind of go forward and hang around outside the box because that's where the fun action is.
Down the line, flicked on by Smith. But straight into the path of Klukstall.
So they had one shot very early.
Yep.
Which was a good opportunity.
I think the Rhodies, and maybe it was Lindsay Patterson, kind of sniffed out what the issue was, and she drops Zaharis a bit deeper.
Right.
So now here's Hurai. This is a good striking run by Cooney Hurai, and the foul was committed by Nolan Cromie, and it wasn't a bad foul because Hurai was picking up a head of steam.
Yeah. Well, I'd seen that player talking to the referee a little earlier because she got pushed in the back, and she turned to the ref and said, "Hey, I got pushed in the back." It's pretty obvious. So I think maybe she thought, I can do that. I can go pull on her.
Well, it's not quite the spot from a free kick that people would draw out in their dream scenario, but it's still quite good. 3 in the wall.
That's
Holden
doable.
Reed could serve him. Hurai could try and go for a goal. It's through the wall and takes a bounce before falling easily into the arms of McCabe. Definitely not Hurai's best work, but you could see what she was trying to do.
Well, I think Blake was kind of blocking the goalkeeper, but I think she was offsides too. She'd
Yeah.
kind of drop behind everybody.
Right.
The idea is not bad. Just kind of step out of the way and hope the referee didn't call you interfering.
It's a good header by Kernet. She finds Saldana. Once again, Harper Kernet, who has slotted into the side very well, and she tried to swing one over to She. A little too much hang time on that.
It's a long ball. I mean, even the slowest defender can get a ball when you kick it 50 yards. They're going to pick that ball up, unless, you can hit a rocket.
Klukstall, won back by Olympia, and
Well,
then by West Seattle.
I feel sorry for their center forward. I mean, we haven't played a team that I've seen that has a center forward who has a chance out here.
It's tough.
It's a really hard
really
game.
tough assignment. I mean, it's kind of, you can see how we really have just spoil of riches. We can take Mattern out of the back line, or the back two, put Kernet in, and she fits like a glove.
Well, they're throwing two players up now, which is a good idea as long as they don't bypass everything.
They've gone into the old school 4-4-2.
Yes.
Olympia. As they are just mugged in midfield by Saldana and Biagai. Holden Reed swings it for Blake. She goes down the line for Hirai, who I think made the run, but wasn't quite ready for it. She took her eye off the pass right when it happened.
See, now they're dropping that forward back. So I guess she's just supposed to a false 9 type of thing where she just
maybe. Or a 4-5-1, whatever you want
something.
to call it.
I guess they're supposed to hit this forward, and she holds it up so the other forward can catch up. But she hasn't done that yet. There hasn't been many of those because our defenders are just kind of mugging her.
Yeah,
not getting much. We're kind of dominating this game. It's pushed into their third now, final third.
They're going to need to find some changes.
Yes,
it's slowly and surely become more of West Seattle's game.
Yeah, well, they've been I guess sending it up there and hoping for a foul is also not a bad way to go. I mean, they've got somebody far on the left here. Where's she at? Oh, there's the ball.
Free kick to come for Olympia. I wish I knew who it was taking it, but
it's their biggest girl. Mm-hmm. She obviously is going to drop. Look at our goalkeeper.
Oh, there it is, number 17. It's Davidson.
Uh-oh.
Luebe Davidson with the ball
Nice.
into the box, and that is catching practice for Hills. Hope Luebe Davidson, the right-sided center back for Olympia. And West Seattle looked to break quickly, though. That pass from She was behind Hirai. Towed forward by Olympia. Klukstall's the only one in the vicinity.
Nobody wants to go chase that on a hot day. Let's see.
No, and it is hot.
Yes.
I mean, it is. It was really boiling today.
On the turf, I promise you that their feet are feeling 115 to 120 degrees.
Oh, it's rough.
It's really hot out there. I mean, you can feel it when you go into the shade too. I mean,
there's a reason why when FIFA brought the World Cup to the USA, they saw the turf fields and said absolutely not.
No.
Klukstall into Biagai. Pressure's coming from Cromie. Mattern, She.
Nice.
Back to Mattern. It's good play. And she's dropped one in a bucket for Kuni Hirai. Is she onside? She is. But it was dealt with by DeBoer. Hirai was able to get it across the face of goal with her weak foot, but nobody in pink was making the run.
Nobody thought it would be there.
Everybody just stopped and watched. They were hoping to get front row seats to Kuni Hirai's 10th goal. In the end, it's cleared away by Olympia, who turn away from Kernet down to the line. Nobody's really in the box, but it deflects off of Maisie Klukstall for Olympia's first corner, and actually the first corner of the game.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good play by them. She was all by herself. She could have held everything up, but she went running, hoping her team would catch up. Two of them did, but I didn't like the way they'd run. They should have done a crossing run at that point. They were very static. I don't think they thought she'd outrun her either. Same thing. You kind of, to score goals, you have to take chances, and when it's hot, those chances cost a lot physically.
Especially when they don't work out at all.
I know. Oh, good corner.
Floated in by Olympia. Klukstall wins the first header. And Saldana will pick up the pieces. Now here's Hirai. Just Saldana ahead of her. Step coming in from Olympia. Towed forward by Pruner. Hirai picks it up and finds Mariah Biagai. 29-year-old. previously of Western Washington University in the Snohomish Sky. Scored a hat trick against Bigfoot a few days ago.
Uh-oh, we're closing him in.
Collins.
They got out of that. That was well done.
Back to Hope Luebe Davidson. Now at the right back, Mickle. Runs being made by Johnson. Here she is, Grace Johnson. Steps up, pings one towards the back post. She wants Collins. Only found the head of Blake. Collins will get there, though. Pressured by Klukstall. She's able to turn and stand her up. Collins looking to take Klukstall to the line. She's able to get the cross in. Blake away again. This one will just knock off of the corner flag, so a throw-in by inches. But ticking towards halftime, Olympia are finding a little bit of energy.
You know, they've got some good wingers who are not afraid to take people on, and they've got some good speed. Oh,
That's not what they wanted in that situation, though. Cleared into Hirai, who decides to play it cool. Now Zaharis. Main progressor of the ball in midfield for West Seattle, Jordan Zaharis. Here's another one who likes being on the ball, Holden Reed.
Holden does like being on the ball. I actually like her on the ball, too. I think she's got a real nose for attack. She does some scary things. Oh.
Kernet.
Thought she should have gone inside.
Didn't want that ball, Harper Kernet, but she dealt with the pressure. Be a guy goes into Mattern. Now Hirai. Be a guy again. She floats across that midfield.
Yeah, it's
Doesn't
good.
really like being on the back line, but if she's just ahead of them, she likes being all over.
You know, finding those triangles and squares, it's very satisfying.
Another overlapping run by Blake, and she's won West Seattle their first corner of the game.
That last corner they put up was a good corner, but we're just a little taller.
I think in this environment, when Rhodies are bigger and taller, you got to drive it in and kind of hope something happens. If you float it in like that, it becomes too easy.
Yeah, well, for our size.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a terrible corner kick. I mean, it was. You do want to float something. You want to get the first corner kick in front of the goal to show that you can do it.
Well, let's see if Hirai can do it. Yes, she can. That's a lovely ball towards the back post. Cleared only as far as Holden Reed, who sliced it. Headers off the bar. Still not clear. Can they touch it in? It's still bouncing around. And Olympia get away with it. Oh, man. How close can you get?
Off the post. There was a ball at the post and all that.
Oh, man. I think Seth Spittle might have just lost about 5 years of his life with that one.
Yeah, that was pretty. Well, that was a good ball. You know, you play it in there and it's bouncing around. We scored last week on one of those where it went in there and bounced around and we just finished it.
Gratefully away by McCabe on the goal kick. Good challenge again by Biagai. She loves getting stuck in, Mariah Biagai. She's such an asset in midfield. And she can score goals.
Well, none of the Rhodies are afraid of getting stuck in. This is a tough group of players.
It's true. But Biagai seems to be one that actively seeks out contact. Hirai's now dropped deep, and they all can get on the ball.
Yes.
This is a good team.
They are a very good team. I like the way that they're always showing for each other in the midfield.
That one's just a little too far for Saldana.
And as a fan, it kind of makes you feel good, like you know soccer, because you can see these obvious things that they're doing. And they do a good job of that. Ooh, nice.
Klukstall, calm under pressure. Here she is again, Maisie Klukstall. Grew up in Boise. Now Hirai. Holden Reed. Jaden Holden Reed across for Kernet. Just a couple minutes left in this one, plus stoppage time. West Seattle certainly have been the better of the two sides, but Olympia have found a couple chances as of late. The Rhodies will certainly want another goal to calm their nerves. Has that one a rare, poor pass from Jaden Holden Reed.
Well, Olympia, they put together some passes in the midfield, but they haven't been able to do anything dangerous. They haven't done anything in their final third, really. They got a shot off of a mistake, and then one player kind of dribbled past us and crossed it. But that's not the same as what we're doing. We're having a lot more possession, and it feels like we can wear them down.
Pressure came from Pruner. Kernet sends it back to Hills in goal. Also important to note, well, we'll get back to that in a second. Given away by West Seattle, but there's George Zaharis. And she will look to outlet Saldana.
Yeah,
that one's cleared. It looked like off the arm of Saldana. Referee says play on until he doesn't.
Yeah, he saw it.
An important thing to note is that Olympia haven't come with a full squad. Just, I believe, 6 on the bench for Olympia, and one of those is a backup goalkeeper. So just 5 outfield players to choose from for Spedal, the coach. Pressure coming from Olympia. Hills has enough time to take a first touch. She swings one into Blake.
Yeah, see, I like the way the center midfielders show for the outside backs, the outside midfielders. And these two are crossing each other all the time and showing. It's a nice combination. But you have to get the passes straight.
Which they have been doing about 95% of the time, but they have lost it in dangerous areas a couple times. I think that will be something that Lindsay Patterson will maybe want to address in the halftime team talk, saying something along the lines of, I know we're getting confident on the ball because we've had a lot of it, but you got to keep in mind where you are on the pitch.
Yes. And, I've noticed that Olympia, when they get it, they try to transition they try and punish us right away, but our defenders are pretty strong. We cover our mistakes fast. Ooh, this could be good.
Cleared away only as far as Olivia Shee, who shimmies and tries to go for it for left foot. Couldn't curl it as we are 35 seconds into 2 minutes of first half stoppage time.
Well, she was able to find space at the top of the box, and no coach is going to say don't shoot that. She created the space, took the shot. She just didn't strike it very well, but it was a good idea. Again, anytime you get the defense to collapse, that's good, and you're an attacking player.
Zaharis, clever back heel, but her intended target slipped. Olympia may be looking to craft one last attack before halftime. Collins, forced backward by Blake, sent forward into a good area by Olympia. Can they get there? No, they can't. Klukstall did well to get across, beating Cromie to it. Now here's De Boer. Pressure applied by Shee, forcing Pruner back to the midfielder. Mickle.
This is where they're dangerous, right here.
Johnson down the right-hand side, and Mattern stays with her all the way.
Yeah, all their good stuff. I mean, they're trying to play up the middle, but it's not really working. Any success they're having is on the outside. It's not the best thing to do. You want to control the middle. But they are getting some joy on the outside right, outside left. They have some good speed out there. Our players are just as fast.
That's going to do it for the first half. So 1-0 between the West Seattle Rhodies and FC Olympia. Kuni Hirai, the difference as of right now. West Seattle have enjoyed a lot of possession, but you certainly wouldn't say Olympia are out of it. We send it to the halftime Welcome back to the Nino Cantu Athletic Complex. The players were ready slightly before the referees were. You can see the center and the nearsighted assistant still making their way over. It was a good first half for West Seattle. Just 1-0, the goal from Kuni Hirai, and it was quite a good one, absolutely destroying that right back's ankles, and then slotting it into the bottom corner, giving the keeper no chance. And West Seattle certainly have been the dominant side, but man, you know what? We've said that both. We've both said that now. We've both called Olympia Olivia. For those who don't know, our broadcast director's name is Olivia Dubois. She's in the booth with us. That is the reason for the error. But Olympia have stayed in the game.
Yes.
They've created some chances, certainly haven't looked quite as threatening as West Seattle, but this one is definitely not over and done with. And just a reminder for those maybe just tuning in, West Seattle still have an outside chance of winning the Northwest Division if they win out and get a little bit of luck in other games. Snohomish play Salmon Bay a little later this week, and if that game ends in a draw and West Seattle wins both of their games, they finish top.
Well, they're good enough to represent the league. They're a good team, but it sounds like there's some. They don't have their destiny in their own hands yet. But winning is a good way to start. Oh, corner kick.
Yeah, they've started with a corner here, Olympia.
That was that was high pressure right there. They basically said it's getting cooler. Let's start running a little bit. So their last ball was served very well, directly into the center of the box, forcing the Rhodies to clear it. Our tallest player cleared it out.
A couple substitutions for West Seattle. We'll get to those in a moment. As not a bad corner is played in by Olympia. It was away by Kuni Hirai, and she's making the forward run. However, the West Seattle player couldn't get there in time that was Lisi Snyder, who's come in to replace Angela Saldana. The other substitution being Ali Monroe, replacing Olivia Shi. So a slight reconfiguration of things. Monroe will certainly play a lot deeper and more central than Shi did. I think that will allow Zaharis to push up a bit higher. And we'll see what Snyder can provide going forward.
Well, I know that Olympia came out with a higher pressure game, putting more people forward, trying to take advantage of our passing in the back, which works great until you don't take advantage of the passing in the back.
Be a guy away from DeBoer. Here's Snyder's first contribution to the game, and it's a cross that's blocked and sent out for what I actually thought was a corner from this angle, but the referee's given a throw-in.
Well, there's a lot. I thought she was offsides because the defense stepped up when the pass was made, but the linesman didn't call it. So assistant referee said, nope. Good thing it wasn't closer into the middle.
Here's be a guy inside the 18-yard box for West Seattle. Back out wide into Blake, trying to find the angle for the cross. Stood up, but does well to win a corner.
Nice. That's a good corner.
Yeah,
earned that corner.
Well, yeah, she knew that was kind of her only option, but she sort of played it off of the defender's foot.
Yeah, she got the player turned around so that she was facing the end line, then just bounced it off her shin or her foot. It was a good play.
Well, Hirai's last delivery from this side was good. Obviously, it was the opposite corner, but this side meaning she can provide an in-swinger with her left foot. This one's great. Again towards the back post. Knotted down by Klugstall. And I think she knows she probably should have done a bit better.
Yeah, it was a tight angle and required some real talent. You couldn't just hit it off your head. She had to aim it, and it was unlucky.
But with her quality, she at least will feel like, man, I could have scored.
Oh, yeah, she realizes after she kind of doinked at it, when she should have just driven it right into that near post that she was at. Oops.
Zaharis sending one to the turf illegally in the eyes of the referee. That was Lila Pruner getting the Zaharis shoulder. Free kick for Olympia.
Yeah, see, they look very comfortable passing around the back, finding their midfielders. They just struggle for that final pass. And, of course, our defense doesn't make it easy. We have great defenders, very organized.
Turns out it's actually Caitlin Baldock who is the right-sided fullback for Olympia, not Mickle.
Oh.
So apologies, but I won't feel too bad considering those iridescent numbers.
Well, you can see the numbers
I mean,
better.
the numbers might as well be hieroglyphs. It's really something to behold.
Well, when when the sun's not shining on them, you can kind of see what they are. Like this
Yeah.
is 10,
Yeah.
and so we can see them now.
Right.
But when the sun was blasting on them, it was like looking into a mirror.
But even when you can see it now, only kinda.
Well, I don't love it,
No.
but some designer sold it to them.
It was Johnson who flicked it in to really nobody. Hirai finds Zaharis.
See, they're really putting a lot of pressure on. They're throwing numbers up, trying to cover all the spaces, and they're hoping to catch us with an errant pass.
Well, actually, it's kind of good then it's good either way, but Patterson kind of solved the problem before it happened by bringing in Monroe.
Yes.
A 6 that will just sit and not move from in front of that back line. That certainly helps to alleviate the press because she's kind of always a good pass.
Yes, yeah, you can always play it into her and you're pretty safe.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem when you play a high press game, you're leaving you're leaving space for the opposing team to attack, and we're doing that right now.
Right.
When we get it, there's a lot of space if we can beat the press, and we've done a good job.
Blake and Snyder combined down the right-hand side. The reward is a throw-in. Here's Monroe.
Ooh.
Turns away from one, gets a low cross into Jaden Holden-Reed, who drew a very good save out of McCabe down to her left. Olympia clear their lines.
That was a great save, great shot, great everything. Well done.
McCabe's made some saves, but that was certainly the best one of the night.
Well, I don't know, that one on the through ball was pretty good.
Actually, I still take that one though
Really?
because
Okay.
because you have a little bit more time to think about coming off
Yeah.
of your box. That was much more of a reaction save.
Well, she's earned her money
Oh yeah,
for what she's done. I mean, she's made 2 saves. This game could be 3-0 very easily.
yeah. Holden-Reed denied spectacularly just a second ago. That pass was intended for Snyder, significantly behind her, but a great step by Blake. Blake will tee one up from range, and that is a much easier save for McCabe, but definitely not an ill-advised shot from Blake.
No. And the best part was it was a transition play. The other team tried to build out of the back. Midfielder found it and just attacked immediately, which catches everybody flat-footed. And you want to take a shot. You don't want to slow down. You want to make something happen. I think that was great.
Well, they play on opposite sides, but Blake is kind of reminding me of a prime Andrew Robertson, just an absolute turbo engine up and down the line from fullback.
Yeah, she likes running. Now, see how they put the press in?
Yeah.
And they're trying to pick the
But look
ball
at that
up
touch.
there.
Look at that touch from Monroe. There's too much composure.
Yeah.
Wesseattle have too much composure. You saw it from Hills.
Yeah.
She was under pressure, just passed it. Then Monroe, she gets the ball to her. She knows exactly what's around her in every direction. So she knows that she can just take a touch into the direction where the player isn't. And they make it look so easy, West Seattle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what a touch by Zaharis as well. This is really a great performance by the Rhodies. Just the second goal is alluded to, but that's a lovely ball into the path of Holden-Reed. She's got space to operate down the left. 2 in the middle for Jaden Holden-Reed.
Nice.
Didn't like either pass. And in the end, the defender got across, and the last touch actually came off of Holden-Reed.
Yeah, it was a good idea. I mean, it's tough because you're out there and everybody's run into the box, and you want to give it right away. But the truth is sometimes if you can beat that player, she could walk in on goal. So she tried to pull it back, and it just didn't work. But we look really dangerous. But I know what you mean. You can see with Seth, the other team's coach, Olympia's coach, told him is pressure them. To choke them off in the back there, win the ball, and attack the goal immediately. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to beat us.
Zaharis couldn't pick out Hirai. Well, it'll certainly be worlds cooler out there now that the sun has, I know on the camera you're getting a face full of sun, but for the players, the field, save for a couple of small patches, is completely encased in shadow.
Oh, it's much more comfortable to play.
Here's Zaharis. She's actually shifted for the time being over to the left. So in midfield is Cromie. Back to Hope Luebe Davidson. She's lost out. Has Zaharis kept it in? Yes, she has, but she couldn't pick out Be a Guy. Luebe Davidson, away from pressure, finds a checking run of Grace Johnson. Her pass is errant. Snyder, be a guy.
Oh.
This is great from West Seattle. Hurai's in down the left. She's got Snyder in the box. Hurai across, looking for Lacey Snyder. Well dealt with by Olympia. West Seattle knocking on the door, and they're not done yet. Blake down the line, away from Holden Reed by DeBoer.
Yeah, even though it's cooler, we look like we have more energy, and they look like it's still hot. I mean, we're just finding a lot of space out there. But they're throwing everything at us. But even some of the mistakes are going our way, which nice control.
It was a very good touch by Kernet, especially with the forward running onto her. Long ball looking for Hurai. Meat and drink for McCabe.
McCabe's actually done a really good job.
Yeah, I think she has been one of, if not Olympia's best players. Tends to be the case when a goalkeeper is like Hills for West Seattle could never be the best player in this game because she hasn't done anything.
Yeah, she didn't get enough touches.
Right. Like, of course, McCabe has the opportunity to be a great player in this game, and she's stepped up.
Yeah, she's done a good job. I can't blame her. I mean, the goal we scored, besides destroying the outside back, the shot was across her body and hit the post, actually, and went in. So it was a wonderful shot.
Be a guy wins West Seattle a corner down the right-hand side.
I don't think I'd change anything on these corners. I think they're doing a great job.
No,
just keep putting it in there.
Well, it's Klukstall who kind of floats to the back post.
Yeah.
She and Holden Reed are the two tallest in there and would probably be the targets. But they have switched it up. It's not Hurai taking it. Mm-hmm. It's a right footer this time. I think it might be Monroe. Lifted in by Monroe. It's kind of behind everyone. Kernet won the header, but she was running backwards.
Yeah.
She couldn't really do much with it. Monroe does keep it in, though, but it'll be away by Collins. And I think if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No. Yeah, we've talked about this before. In women's soccer, it's just good to play the ball in front of the goal and just hope something happens. Because it works out amazingly, Being able to serve the ball on a dime in the center of the goal is tough.
Holden Reed found herself in an area of pressure, turns out of it. Now here's Iris Mattern, left back for this game. Can also play center back, as she has done a lot. Nice step over by Holden Reed to create space. Pass, though, behind Hurai. I think Holden Reed expected Hurai to stay where she was.
Well, I think the forward thought, the defender's up on my shoulder, I'm going to take off down the line, and she'll split them. But unfortunately, there's a lack of communication. Nobody's fault. It happened fast. I mean, I wouldn't blame the forward for what they did, and wouldn't blame the midfielder.
One back in the midfield by Jaden Holden Reed.
Let's see if they throw numbers at it. Nope, didn't even work. We beat two of them with one pass.
Monroe forward into Cooney Hurai. On the doorstep of double-digit goals this season. This one floated into Mariah Biagai, and again, over the head of the West Seattle forward. Sure, Hurai would love to hit that double-digit mark. If not tonight, then in West Seattle's final match away at Tacoma.
Oh, I think there's more shots coming. I don't think Olympia's given up on the idea of winning this game or scoring it.
Nor should they.
I think they really want to. They don't look to me like a team that's packing it in. They're taking risks. They're throwing more people forward all the time, which creates more space in the midfielder, which creates more opportunities for us to do things in the final third. They're taking a chance.
Well, they're making a couple changes here, and man, I will do my best.
Good luck.
I think one of them coming off was the right winger Johnson.
Yeah, she was a speedster.
May or may not be the case. Looks like that is number 9, Olivia Lewis, who's coming to replace her.
Okay, look at how she tracks. Let's see. See the pressure coming in? Yeah, they're like, go, go, go.
Lewis applying pressure, but gets it into Zaharis.
Uh-oh.
That's a bad pass, though, by Jordan Zaharis.
See, but that's why you do it. That's what they're hoping for, something like that. Because they had 4 players who were going that way, attacking. And they're just looking for one touch or one nick off the ball. But that creates a lot of lanes in the midfield, which is why we look like we're passing it so well. They're throwing players forward, leaving those gaps.
Kernet now has actually shifted over to left back for West Seattle. And it's Addison Stendera who's sitting in at center back. So Iris Mattern's actually been replaced. That was a substitution that I missed at halftime. Apologies there. Stendera doing some defending, and it's easy for Hills. And now we have a couple substitutions here for Olympia. Ella Coates replacing Grace Johnson, and Olivia Lewis replacing Olivia Collins.
Okay.
And yeah, it was just a recent sub, actually, Mattern being replaced by Stendera. So with that change, Stendera sits next to Klukstall at center back, and Kernet shifts over to left back. Throwing down the line, one by Kernet, now Holden Reed. Zaharis into Hurai, flick back to Jordan Zaharis. Great play down the left by West Seattle. What does Zaharis have? Only option was Snyder. Zaharis didn't love it, waited for the overlapping run of Hurai. Great first touch. Hurai's taken out, referee will play advantage. Snyder in towards Holden Reed. Crucial last-ditch defensive effort by Anya DeBoer.
Yeah, that was a great play. The ref wanted to call a foul over here, but we kept connecting.
Yep.
It was close.
I think
close.
Advantage was the right call there.
Yeah. Well, he was thinking about going back and giving us a free kick, but after 4 passes and we got down in front of the goal, I'm glad he didn't call it.
Another great chance for West Seattle. 15 minutes into the second half. Still just Cooney Hurai's goal the difference. Thank you for being with us on NBC Sports Engine Play. Here's Sophia Blake.
Wow, the way we got out of that was really nice.
Be a guy looking for Lacey Snyder. Can she outmuscle the center back? No, she can't. Well dealt with by Lillian Mickle. As the referee will stop play, and another 2 changes coming in for Olympia, and shockingly, one seems to be the goalkeeper, if you can imagine. So Molly McCabe will be replaced by Allie Larkin, and you wonder, man, what is the thinking there? That is for a couple reasons. First of all, unless it's injury. If it's injury, fine. But she doesn't look injured.
No.
McCabe has been excellent, and goalkeeper is a tough position to come in late in the game.
You know, as you said, they're not paid professionals. Seth sees himself as a teacher. He may have said to the players before the game, I'm going to sub at halftime, and then told the other goalkeeper, I can't sub. This is too tight. I got to get things straightened out here. But if he's promised somebody he's going to change.
Here's a chance.
Good.
Be a guy's got it. Top of the box. Be a guy looking to go for goal. Just got a little bit under it too much.
Looking good. We're looking very good. We're finding lots of opportunities. We're not quite getting away with anything, but we're getting closer. It feels, it's got the feel of something's going to happen soon here. Let's see. I still can't see those numbers, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, it's super.
It's not getting any better.
Sent long by the recently subbed in goalkeeper Larkin. Upwards by Klukstall. Olympia win the second header. Klukstall forward. Be a guy. Into Snyder. Flicks it on. Miscontrolled. Hurai's got an opportunity here. Defender's gotten back. Hurai tried it with her right. And I think, even though it wasn't the worst attempt in the world, patience might have been the watchword there.
Well, I wonder if she could have just turned and dribbled at her, but
yeah.
Again, it's easy for us to say. We haven't been out there playing nonstop for how long? It's been a while.
An hour or so.
An hour, yeah.
A little over.
In the heat.
Yeah, it's just now cooled down.
Yeah.
Although you'd think that would reinvigorate them ever so slightly.
It could be. But then again, it's another thing that happens when you punish somebody, you want to keep punishing them. Oh, gosh. You want to keep punishing them right away.
That one fell kindly to Holden Reed. Her pass, though, well ahead of Snyder.
Boy, we're throwing a lot of people forward, by the way. We're not hesitating.
Well, we want the second goal, and we should get it because
Yes.
Olympia could score at any point.
Oh, yeah. You want to score the second goal. But it looks like we're actually throwing that up there. We want the second goal. This is kind of what we were talking about. You got to make your own destiny a little bit. And the best way to do it is by beating these guys, not giving them a chance. And then you got to hope you do it in the next game.
Blake finds Monroe. Heavy pressure from Olympia. West Seattle get out of it. Holden Reed tried the spectacular.
Foul.
And the referee will stop things.
Yeah, I think the player came in and kind of cracked her as she was shooting.
Oh, no. A drop ball, so it must have struck the referee. We couldn't tell from our angle.
I had a post in front of me that kind
Yeah.
of vanished. I'm like, oh, well. Oh.
And it's taken quick by Holden Reed, who goes for goal. I'm not sure if that was saved or hit the crossbar. Either way, it's not clear. Olympia eventually do get it away.
I think it's post.
I
top
think
bar.
so, too. The way the ball sort of bounced, it looked like it hit the crossbar. What an effort by Holden Reed.
Really good.
Taking advantage of a drop ball situation.
Lackadaisical situation.
Yeah. Flicked on by Zaharis. Cleared only as far as Snyder. She turns away from one. Lacey Snyder cuts in, tries to curl it towards the near post. And I think the goalkeeper, Larkin, didn't quite get her feet right, needed saving.
It looked like a bit of a change-up, if you know what I mean. I think the goalkeeper thought it was going to come faster, and she kind of threw herself out there and was already in her dive, and it was rolling.
Yeah, I mean, if Snyder had gotten a bit more power on that, that's going in.
Yeah, it was in the
near
corner.
post. I mean, that's what Kylian Mbappe does. He'll cut in and make the keeper think he's going back post, and then he'll slot it near post. It's a really good try by Snyder. She was in a tight situation and created a lot of space for herself.
Yeah, that was all solo creation.
In by Monroe, out by Olympia.
That was like the smallest player on the field, actually, who just cleared that header out, which is good news for small players.
In towards Holden Reed, cleared away by Olympia, not once but twice. They only really have one forward up there, Stendera.
Well, see, now they're flowing 3 and 4. There's 4 players streaming forward. They
Pressured
slowed
by
down.
Olympia. It's the center forward, a new one coming in. Or no, excuse me, that's Olivia Lewis up top, I believe.
Uh-oh.
Again, it's like 50% vision, 50% guesswork, these Olympia players. Bad clearance by Larkin. Zaharis onto it. You don't want to get into a physical battle with her, but she got slammed by a thumping Hope Luebe Davidson challenge. Here's now the fullback Baldock into her center midfielder. Turns away from Biagai. Pressure from Holden Reed's not quick enough. It's with the left back DeBoer. She hoists it into the left winger who couldn't beat Klukstall, and West Seattle have a throw-in.
Well, you can see what their ideas. They're going down the outside. They're not winning the middle at all. So they're just going wide and trying to make something happen. Oh, another break.
Second hydration break. 69th minute. Still just 1-0, which feels kind of crazy to say.
Well, we talked about that. If we look at the record of the other team, they're not giving up a lot of goals. The first time we played them, it was 1-0. And Seth is a good coach. He knows what he's doing. And I think he's doing everything he can do. I think we're just a bigger, stronger, more skilled group of players with more experience. But we're trying. I mean, I feel like we're going to score one more. And if we score one, I think we could score 2.
I'll tell you what. I will say I feel like there's another goal in this game.
Oh,
I
gosh.
don't think the final score will be 1-0. But I could see Olympia scraping one.
I could too. Well,
It just takes one mistake because they're pressing.
Yeah, that's what you're seeing. They're going to do the best they can, but he doesn't have the horses to do what he needs to do. But he's telling them, throw everything forward, intercept the ball, attack, get corners, do what you can do. But the problem is when you do that, you have midfielders leaving the midfielders to go forward. That's why we're doing this nice passing in the midfield. They're leaving there to attack our defenders. Once we beat them, suddenly we look like world champs.
Well, it's a gamble, right?
Yes,
That's gambling. And
Yes.
I think football's most entertaining when the coaches gamble.
Yes, he's doing the only thing he can do. He's kept his compact shape the best he can, but he's saying to some of the midfielders, you need to go attack. Just 3 of you go in there and just attack. Maybe they'll screw up. Because what else is he going to say? Now back up and then we'll hope to counterattack. They don't have the speed against the Rhodies for that. So the best thing they do is win the ball close to our goal and then take a shot. So I could see that. I mean, you're right, but I don't think they're going to get away with it. We're pretty strong.
We certainly look the more likely team to score.
Yeah. Listen, I'll go this. I'll go 90-10. I think there's a 90% chance of us scoring, but I give them 10%.
Yeah, I'd go a little closer to 80.
80-20?
85-15.
Okay.
That's what I'm feeling.
Okay. Well, I like their risk-taking, but I just don't know if they have the horses to beat our defense.
It's quite a young team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If they could stay together for a couple years, they'd be awesome.
Yeah. Here's Baldock pushing forward for Olympia. They haven't been in this portion of the pitch all that much, that being their attacking third. And Kernot is one of the reasons why they don't stay there for long.
No.
She wins it, gives it to Standera, away into Kuni Hirai. Harris leaves it for the West Seattle top goal scorer. She spreads it wide for Blake, finds a lovely angled ball down the line. Schneider sprinting into it. She's gotten there, needs support though, turns the defender inside out, plays it in towards Harris, cleared away at the last second. Just away of the toe of Jordan Zaharis. Not all the way away for Olympia. Hirai forced to her left. Doesn't have too much room. Gets it into Zaharis. She tried to flick it on into Hirai. Bit of a half-hearted clearance by the Olympia defender. Picked back up by Holdenreed. Tried for the step over. Defender stays with her. Holdenreed then creates space and will ping a lovely ball in. Oh, they've gotten each other's way. The flag was up for offside anyway, but that's the second time that Holdenreed has served it on a platter.
Yeah, she gets it in there. It was a good serve, too. Driven in, but our two players crashed into each other.
Well, the final substitution that happened a while ago for Olympia was Adriana Torres replacing Lila Pruner. We'll have a free kick here for West Seattle. Still plenty of time. The score does not reflect how much of an action-packed game this has been.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good chances.
Seattle's season's on the line here. They need a win, another win, and some help to win the USLW Northwest. But that starts with a win here. They need to seal the deal. Monroe, too far for Snyder.
Yeah. Well, they have a pretty organized defense. They cover for each other, except for that first goal. They cover for each other pretty well. But I really believe they're going to throw everything forward. I mean,
why not? I mean,
yeah, why not?
They don't really have too much to play for as far as standings right now. So why not just have some fun?
Yeah, go out and throw everything forward and see what you got.
Yeah. I mean, even though this is pre-professional and these people have decided that soccer is something they want to do with their lives, sport is still supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
Right? There's, and in the back of their heads, it's like, well, people have paid to be here. I want to enjoy my time. I want my players to be happy.
Yeah.
And it, it's fun to say, guys, go win.
Yeah.
Even if they don't.
Look at the pressure they're putting there. Those three girls up front.
I mean, that's what Spidall has said.
Yeah.
He said, go get the ball, go win.
Oh,
it was a bit of a dribbler from Stendera. Klukstall just barely gets there. Biaga goes down under contact. Referee waited to see if there was an advantage. Monroe lost it, but the center ref will blow his whistle.
Yeah, we've done a really good. It's not that easy to handle that kind of pressure when somebody runs at you with that. And they've got numbers. They're organized. It's three people working like a killer attack triad. They're coming in and they're kind of supporting each other.
Snyder, very active since she came on, couldn't connect with Biagai. There's Blake again. It's like there's someone behind her just constantly shoveling coal inside her engine. There seems to be a whole lot of coal.
Yeah, some players have big engines. She's just a runner. And she has to be obviously under this system. It's kind of a tough decision. Was the system here first, or did Lindsay say, you can run forever, so we're going to make a game plan where you just run forever?
Well, I'll tell you that Blake gets a lot more forward than the other fullback does, so I think it's kind of a Blake thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like it's a tactic that she maybe, Lindsay saw it and said, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to run you to death.
Hefty challenge by Kernet, sent back in by Olympia. Stendera's there.
Okay, they're throwing everything forward.
Yep, heavy press. Klukstall decides better safe than sorry, but it ends up being a nice ball into the path of Hirai.
Nice.
She's up against Luebe Davidson, beaten easily by Hirai. Can she cut it back? Yes, she can, but that's brilliantly defended by Olympia. They had all their bases covered.
Yeah, Davidson's their sweeper. Center back is a big girl. She covers a lot of ground, but she's not got a quick change of direction. And when we beat them bad. And that was a great dribble by Hirai.
All of our players were marked in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're a pretty well-coached team. They know what they're supposed to do. Our horses are just stronger.
Another double substitution. Biagai and Holden Reed are out. Get the replacements in a moment. Thrown by Kernet into Hirai. Can't connect with Kernet. It looks like the last touch came off of Harper Kernet. And it will be a throw-in for Olympia. One of the players coming in is Nora Patterson, and the other one's Audrey Crommett. So Patterson and Crommett in for Biagai and Holden Reed. That's a lot of quality being taken off the bench, but I think the legs have gone as Klukstall has tried to pick out Crommett. She'll sit in as more of a proper center forward than anything else West Seattle has. Patterson out wide. At the minute, Hirai's dropped into midfield. We'll see how long that stays the case as Olympia will restart with a goal kick.
Yeah, I think the Rhodies have kind of made a mistake here, actually. The other team's putting pressure. You have to beat the pressure. You can't kick your way out of the pressure. So a lot of our defenders, instead of finding midfielders, are bypassing the midfielder and sending it long. But that kind of plays into what Olympia wants to do. They want you to send it long. They don't want you to be able to break the press. And we were breaking the press, but right now...
West Seattle applying some press of their own. It's the newcomers, Crommett and Patterson. Patterson couldn't angle it into Snyder. And Olympia have got a little bit of room to operate here.
Okay,
away
here they
from
go.
Monroe, turning on the Jets down the left-hand side, showed way too much of it to Blake. Cleared only as far as DeBoer. She sends it in. Good step by Stendera. Now Kernet. Patterson. Fresh legs. Let's see what her energy can provide. Monroe came in at halftime. Once again, Nora Patterson. Showed a bit too much with that first touch.
Okay, she should attack the space here.
Eased off the ball. Now here's Torres. Smith. Cutting it away from Kernet. And then Hirai, but Kuni Hirai's presence did enough to force her back into her left back DeBoer. Now here's the left winger for Olympia, cutting in. She has space to put a cross in. Not the best of all time. Again, a great challenge by Harper Kernet. She's put in about 10 of those in this game.
Yeah, she's been crushing it back there.
Well done by Hope Luebe Davidson for Olympia. But then a bit of the commentator's curse there as it's touched well ahead of Catherine Baldock.
She's a strong defender, but she doesn't look comfortable when she goes forward. That's like the third or fourth ball she's given up after she's starting to cut into the midfield because she sees everybody covered.
What a ball by Monroe into Crommett, and then Crommett went for the Trivella and did not catch it with the outside of her foot.
I think she was offside.
Yeah, flags up anyway.
Yeah. So who's our number 22? Bennett.
Well,
okay.
The good news is there's only 2 more substitutions that Olympia can make. So Saki Takaki and Lauren Mead will enter for Olympia. They replace Baldock and one other who already came off.
Oh, there he is. Takaki. Got it.
So we'll see. The last one is Saki Takaki, hailing from Shimane, Japan.
Okay.
Freshman at Arizona Western College.
Okay. They're putting her in the midfield. I guess they feel like the high press is wearing the midfielders down.
Here's Monroe. Snyder. Good first touch. Angles one towards Crommett. Far too close to Larkin.
Okay. About 10 minutes left in this one. See if they've got anything left in the tank.
DeBoer couldn't quite escape Zaharis.
I can't complain about either team. I mean, we are the little stronger team. Tactically, I like our tactics better. But Olympia's put up a good game. They've been a good opponent.
Yeah.
They haven't given up, that's for sure. We did see a couple games this year where I felt the other teams kind of gave up the last.
Yeah. No, Olympia's gone for it.
Yeah.
There's a reason they're kind of the best of the rest this year.
Yeah. See, they're tracking.
Yep.
There's just too many gaps. Now, if they get it here and transition quickly, no, they had to go back.
It's a bit of a hospital pass by Shirai into Zaharis.
Yeah.
Olympia will go long, looking for Torres. Klukstall got there and will win a goal kick off of Torres.
Oh, no, it's still in.
No, it bounced in. Here's Adriana Torres.
Had some backspin on it.
Still fighting with Klukstall, tackled with the splits. Eventually, it gets away from both of them, and Blake will touch it out for a throw-in.
Yeah.
So the other one coming off was Nolan Cromie for Olympia.
Ooh, they're hoping to get a corner kick.
Ball's still on that side. Blake's lost it, but then she's won it back.
Oops.
And then she's lost it again. DeBoer passes it straight out of bounds. Both teams need to get the ball out of that corner. It's looking rough out there.
It gets hard because, I understand why they're staying in the corner, but they need to get out of the corner. Particularly Olympia.
Referee brings it back for a foul on Blake.
It feels to me that there have been a lot more fouls by Olympia this half, and I think it's that high pressure. They're just running everything down, and they can't let the player beat them. Because if we do, then we're through.
Hirai tried to flick it on. I'm not sure she quite caught it. But it's won back by Kuni Hirai. She can look to turn on the burners down the left-hand side. Touches it into Cromit. A couple runners. Cromit pings one. It almost went all the way in.
I think it hit the post.
It goes all the way through to Zaharis. May have hit the post. Jordan Zaharis punched away by Larkin. And Olympia clear. Once again living on the edge, Olympia. And now they can look to counter, but Stendera's there to beat Torres. She'll get the ball back, though. Adriana Torres. Substitution. Originally from Pamplona, Spain. One of two on Olympia, who currently plays at Pomona Pitzer. The other one being Lila Pruner, who started the game but has been sent to the bench. Missed by Stendera, but it falls to Klukstall. She nearly gave it straight away to Torres. In the end, Hills will hoof that one out of there.
That was more dangerous than it looked, by the way. Bouncing between a forward and a defender who's in the center of the field.
Ball in midfield with Eliana Smith. DeBoer.
There she is.
Attempting to find
Offsides.
Takaki, who was in an offside position.
I think they really want to go to that left side because she's their most dangerous attacker. We've caught her offsides twice now.
Hills hammering that one straight out of bounds. Couldn't keep it in.
Yeah. You could see what the idea was. Those are tough balls.
So it will be Olivia Lewis to heave that one in. And she'll get another go at it. Or excuse me, not Lewis. Oh, no, that is Lewis. Man, these numbers are tough.
Yeah. Who's that who just crossed it? That's I can't tell the number either.
Yeah, it's just, we may have to go by position at this point. We were sort of getting a handle on it, then they made all those subs.
I can't tell if it's number 2. She just crossed the ball. It was a good cross.
Yeah. Sent forward by Klukstall. Snyder will press. That's really well dealt with by that left-sided center back who got in between Snyder and the ball.
It's good.
You can see Lindsay Patterson getting a little animated on the touchline. I think maybe won't be too happy by the fact that her team have kind of let Olympia back into this one. At least as far as possession in the opponent's half. Good touch by Torres. Couldn't slide it into to Takaki.
Here we go.
Given away, though, by West Seattle. They'll go for goal. Not a bad effort. That one had some movement.
Yeah. That was what they were working. That was everything that we've watched in the second half. That was what they were trying to do. Just catch us on a bad moment and take a shot. It was a good shot. I think she was off by 5 feet, but it had some good pace.
Blake's lost it now, but she's won it back. They need to get it forward and maintain some possession up top, but now it feels like West Seattle are playing on the counter. As it's touched back to Larkin. She chips it into a bit of a dangerous area. Well dealt with, though, by Olympia. They now can push forward. Down the right-hand side. Kernick got the worst of it.
Who was that? Kroners?
Is that number 3?
Cromit? No. Okay, see, they're looking. See how they pressed right there? All that was taken was a touch, and it was 2-on-2 then. Oh, look at this.
Over the top. Cromit. Flag stays down until it goes up.
Yeah. Again, the problem I'm having with what we're doing is because they're pressing so many, we know that they have a lot of numbers in our end. So we're just whacking the ball to our forwards thinking they'll be open. But that's not how you beat that. You got to find your midfield. And we've kind of stopped doing that a lot, which is why we feel like they're coming at us with numbers. We kick it out offsides. Well, it's easy. They're just stepping forward on us.
Sent long by Hope Luebe Davidson. She's had a very strong game at fullback. Taken off of the Olympia fullback. Cromit. Don't play it. She's offside. Yeah, didn't get to Snyder anyway, but if it had, the flag would have gone up.
Yeah, she was off. The other team saw it coming.
One in the midfield by Hirai. Can West Seattle shut the door here? Kuni Hirai with space to run into. You know she wants to take it on herself. Instead, she'll play it wide for Snyder. Flag stays down. Snyder goes for goal from a difficult angle.
Yeah, I think she should have done across.
The attack's looking a bit leggy. And it's interesting because the front three at this point are all players who didn't start.
Okay.
Yeah, Cromit, Snyder, and Patterson. It just seems to have lost a bit of that spark and creativity, but maybe Snyder can provide some. Lacey Snyder up against the defender. One step over, then a second. Snyder goes for goal. Well defended. Cromit away. Here's Hirai inside the box. Can she find the room? No, she can't.
Oh, gosh.
Away by Luebe Davidson. Monroe wins the header, but only into the Olympia midfielder. That's a good ball around the corner, and they can look to counter Olympia. Monroe's back into a defensive position. Taken to the line by the Olympia midfielder. Showed too much of it to Kernick.
That was smart by Kernick. Very good play. She didn't just run away and put her head down. She kept her eye on what was happening. Smart.
Monroe into Jordan Zaharis. Hasn't seen much of the ball as of late. She gets it wide to Snyder.
Well, we've been bypassing the midfield. We're either defending or chasing.
Good couple of touches by Patterson, and she's found Cromit out wide. What can she do? Cutting inside, Cromit couldn't really create the space. Instead, just touches it back to Hirai. Back out for Cromit. A little more room to operate. She pins one in towards the back post. Great chance! Header over the bar by Snyder. Should have done better.
That was a good ball. Well, the problem was it was kind of a floater, so she had to generate all the power.
Yeah.
Makes it a little harder.
But look at where she was.
I know. I think she should have gone back to the back post and hope she was hitting the triangle, the back triangle. But, again, it was floating. So if it had been driven, just get her head on it and drive it in. Still good ball. Everything about that was great. No complaints.
These last 10 minutes have been the first time this game where the Rhodies haven't seemed totally in control. And now it kind of feels like they're hanging on for the 3 points. Is another 1-0 win in store for Lindsay Patterson's side. Olympia will have something to say about it, but at the moment it's West Seattle. Kernick getting forward for one of the first times this game as Cromit smashes it off of the right back.
That was funny.
Throwing for West Seattle.
We're putting a lot of pressure on. I wouldn't be unhappy if I was either coach. I mean, West Seattle, the Rhodies are doing some great play. It's just that, the other team's not a terrible team. This is the second time we've played them and 1-0 both games.
Mattern has won a corner kick for West Seattle. Looks like Crommett initially was the one who thought about taking it. Monroe is coming over, as is Hirai. It seems as though they may be going for a short corner and trying to just park it in the corner.
I think that's what they're doing.
Trying to see this out.
I guess we have somebody on a 30 who's got space. I guess we could, do a quick short corner, lay it into her, and have her come in and take a shot. As long as she hits it high.
No, they're just going to try and protect it in the corner. And that did not last long.
No,
Throw-in coming for Olympia.
But at this point...
Yeah, we'll get the news about the stoppage time soon. Can't be too much.
There hasn't been an injury, has there?
No.
There have been 2, 3, a few subs. 30 minutes per sub. 30 seconds per sub. So he's going to add 2 minutes?
Well, he added 2 minutes from the first half, and
the same thing. I didn't think there was any injuries. We didn't stop for anything.
Brought down by Hirai. West Seattle just looking to see this out. Confirmation that it is 2 minutes of stoppage time.
Okay.
Olympia need to get it out of this part of the field. Can Hirai keep it in? No, she can't. This is their opportunity. Goal kick to come from Olympia.
Their opportunity from a goal kick.
Well, at least to not have it be in that corner.
Yeah. Well, they got a long way to go, but I think it's better than standing in your own corner. I think we're going to win this out. I think we're going to ride it out. What do you think?
Well, I don't want to activate the commentator's curse, but we'll see.
Well, as we both kind of said, I gave us 90% chance of scoring, if anybody scored.
I said, yeah.
You said 85.
85. At the minute, it's kind of looking like...
Well, we've hit the post twice in the second half. We've had 3 or 4 point-blank shots. It just hasn't quite gone in. But, let's put it this way. We've had 90% of the chances. Yep.
Really moving towards evening as we are now 30 seconds away from full time.
Yep.
If West Seattle win this, for the moment, they are not out of the running for the Northwest Division title. And it's won back by Zaharis. She's brought down, and the referee will blow for a free kick, and that very well might be that.
I think it's that.
Man, how happy must the University of Oregon coach be thinking every time they watch Jordan Zaharis play and think, thank God we got her to come play for us, because she hasn't played for them yet.
Oh, really? Hasn't even
just
shown
graduated this year, yeah.
Wow.
From high school, that is. Sent along by West Seattle. Some bit of gear lost in the process. Looks like a shin guard. Referee won't blow for full time quite yet. Olympia will look to take this goal kick quickly.
Doesn't look long.
Hammered long by Luebe Davidson. Flicked on by Olympia. Can they get it forward? That was last off of Kernet. Referee will allow them this one last foray forward.
Oh, that
only
worked
as
out.
far as Takaki.
Shoot.
To the midfielder. She'll go for goal. Oh! Heart and mouth moment. That was close. And that is full time. I think it was Eliana Smith who caught all of that. Hills was nowhere near it. I thought that was headed for the top corner.
I thought it was in. That's for sure. I mean, she had some pace on it. She was dead center of the field. She turned her play. She was a long way out, but she really hit it.
Wow, that was close.
Wasn't it fun?
Wasn't enough. Never was enough tonight from Olympia. The final score, West Seattle 1, Olympia 0. West Seattle keep their hopes and dreams of a Northwest title alive. They will need some help from elsewhere, but for the moment, they're still in it. It's their 8th win on the season, takes them to a record of 8 wins, 2 losses, and a draw. A better record now than last season officially. And, well, we had more wins than last season, but, a better record than last season officially. And I think it's safe to say that even if the title doesn't come to Thistle Street, the West Seattle Rhodies over the last 2 years have been quite a success. Our record over our existence is 14 wins, 4 losses, and 3 draws.
It's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
a great record.
That is a very good record, and it's been Lindsay Patterson all the way.
Yeah.
She has done an exceptional job with this team. A couple more things. That is our last home game this season. Kuni Hirai will maybe feel like her story's not quite finished. She'll want that nice number 10 goal.
Yeah, she has another game.
But we once again thank you for being with us on NBC Sports Engine Play. Thank you to Olivia Dubois and George Pierce for making all the magic happen. Thank you, Tony Crudo, for being with me. And from myself, Oscar Lopez, we leave you with the final score, FC Olympia 0, West Seattle.